My name is Sandra Gonzalez. I currently produce news for Spectrum News based out of Austin for two different markets, Austin and San Antonio. It's kind of a unique situation, and it's kind of new to me. I haven't been a producer for very long, but I've been a long-time reporter. And so my career spanned from radio into television, and then I've always embraced the technology along the way. And then I've been pure digital, and now I'm news producing, so I've kind of come full circle. So I have a long career, and I've been in really cool cities like New Orleans and Las Vegas and Dallas, and now currently Austin. And I'm very excited that coming up in January, I'm going to be celebrating 30 years in journalism.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
As you know, the focus of our conversation is how does your background impact your journalism style? So would you like to tell me, for starters, how important is it to have a diverse newsroom?
It's hugely important. If we bring like just a few little voices or focuses into a newsroom, and you have this huge community to cover, wouldn't it be better if we had people from all walks of life, all different backgrounds, come to the table and bring what they bring to the table? Don't you think the story ideas and the pitches and the perspectives are going to bring a better product? That's my belief. So I think we need to hear more from people, not just from different cultural backgrounds, but different upbringings, because everything that came into our life throughout our upbringing is also at the table. We don't all think alike. We don't all agree, but we can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, let's put together a good reflection of the day's news. And I think diversity is hugely important. I mean, look what's happening right now in our world. The issue of the children along the border, the whole immigration issue. I mean, it's very important that we have diversity at the table to cover these issues, because there is a lot at stake right here. It's not just one viewpoint, and it's hugely important. As for me, what I bring to the table is my background is I'm a Mexican-American woman, but I'll identify as Latina, Hispanic. And I don't get caught up on the names, but I'm very proud of my heritage. I come from California, but I've lived in New Orleans. I've lived in different cities in Texas. I've lived in Las Vegas. All of that makes me me. My upbringing is my parents are American, but they both have the last name Gonzalez. My mother changed it from an S to a Z, so I always laugh. I'm about as Gonzalez as you can be. But, I'm getting into DNA and my ancestry discovery, and I'm finding out, oh my gosh, my great-grandparents are from here, my other great-grandparent. There's so many stories, I don't even know where to begin. But it's just so amazing to find out where you come from, and not everybody has a Spanish-speaking parent or parents and spoke Spanish in the house, and some do. You can't paint us all with a broad brush. So, but I do bring all of that to the table, and I don't just do Latino issue stories. I've done the fires, I've done the floods, I've done the hurricanes, I've done the earthquakes, I've done the hard issues, I've done aviation, la 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 la. I'm a good reporter. I'm a great reporter. And I also can do the stories about the quinceañeras or, the making of the rosca. And that's the bread that they eat on Three Kings Day. I understand these things. I can pitch these stories. I understand the community, and I understand the features and the traditions. That's just ice. That's icing on the cake, right?
Yeah.
And we all have that. We all bring that to the table.
Absolutely. Do you ever feel like this understanding of yours has added to an additional responsibility in your reporting career?
What exactly do you mean?
Like having to represent your community and this knowledge of yours, do you think that it's also added a pressure in terms of only you can cover it and nobody else can?
Oh no, oh no. Other reporters can cover. I don't think that they should only send all the time their Latino reporters into the Latino community. I think it's a good idea, but we could send other reporters there. Maybe it would be good for reporters to learn how to cover the vast community. I think that we should send reporters into all different types of situations, but also, be wise when you're thinking about it. If somebody comes from a certain neighborhood, a certain community, and something happens there, maybe it's a crime, but why would you send just your crime reporter? Send the person who could get the story better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
How would you recommend that someone goes about embracing their identity during their reporting?
Remember that they're a journalist first, though. And I always have stressed this to younger journalists as I've come up the ranks, that you're not an advocate. You're a journalist. But at the same time, be you.
Yeah.
So, be fair, be balanced, and sometimes you're going to get into some struggles with that.
Yeah.
For instance, sometimes you get accused of, well, you're Latino, so you can't cover immigration fairly. Wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your identity is there, but you are still
A reporter.
able to do the story. You're still a reporter. And so be you, but be strong about it, and make sure that you are being a journalist and not an advocate. And there's some journalists that will disagree with me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that in order for the audience, and when you're in mainstream media, we're reporting to a vast amount of people. You're not just reporting only to one specific audience. So make sure that you are able to tell the story for lots of people to understand, for a vast audience.
What are your 3 tips for aspiring journalists?
Learn everything you can. You don't know when that one day your background is going to become useful. Expose yourself to as much as possible, because you're going to be thrust into a lot. Know a little bit about a lot. You're going to be covering legal issues, you're going to be covering scientific issues, you're going to be covering environmental issues, so have a good, vast background. Also, be you. You're going to have your own style, you're going to have a certain something about yourself. It's okay. It's probably going to make you sore. And be strong. You're going to face criticism, not only from the industry, but right now it's kind of a negativity about journalists in general. And have a thick skin, but at the same time be moldable, be flexible, be able to handle critiques. And in terms of your strength, be tenacious, and just know that you're going to make some mistakes, and there's going to be good days and there's going to be sad days, but just keep going. You're not going to be great at the beginning, because you're at the beginning, but your journey's going to continue to grow, and you will get better, and you will improve. And don't be afraid of going to a small city. Go there. Get out of your bubble. Get out of your state. Some people have lived in different, and so that's easier but there's some girls, I'll say even in my culture, nobody wants to get far from the family, the familia. You know what? Go. enjoy life out of your state. My home state was California. There's life beyond California. There's beauty in other states. Go, enjoy it, experience it. And I'll tell you what, when you go to these smaller markets and towns, you make some of the best friends for life. I'm still in contact from my friends from small market. You become a tight-knit community, and you'll find out throughout the years, it is a small family. So do good work because it speaks well of you, and someone knows someone who might know you. So I could go on, but those are just a few little nuggets for anyone getting into the industry.
Is there anything else that you would like to add in terms of like how to maintain diversity in newsrooms, or how do you feel like you're using your background in order to improve your reporting?
Find a mentor. Find somebody that you can look up to, someone who you can bounce things off, because things will come up, that you're going to need someone with wisdom to talk to about. And
I've actually been pretty lucky that way, because I have found somebody who's had he has a similar story as I do, as he was an international student now working here in the US. So I think I can totally relate to that part.
yes, and that's good. And in terms of the diversity, you're gonna need to make allies. Coming to something like the journalism conferences, make friends with other journalists that may have similarities. Like I've always belonged to, and I've felt like it's been great, and I've made some of the best friends in my life with NAHJ, the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and I've made some great friends through the Society of Professional Journalists. So find allies, and hopefully you won't get discouraged, and you will stay in the career a long time, because this is a great noble career to do. I'm going to quote one of my mentors. He passed away 8 years ago, but George Ramos, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist from my daddy's hometown, said that it is a noble profession. And as I see the world changing, and the things that are happening, and the strife in our politics, and with race relations and immigration, and the list goes on and on and on. We need good journalists, and I don't say the word reporter, because there's a lot more to journalism than just the person on the mic or the person in front of it takes a team to put out content. We need very creative, very dedicated people. We need good writers. We need people who have an eye, who are good photographers, video journalists. We need good producers. We need good managers. That's a whole other issue. We need to start thinking about people getting into positions of management. And that's a whole other set of skills that are super important in order to make a difference in diversity in journalism. But the more diverse our newsrooms are, the better the coverage will be, the smarter the coverage will be. And I hope that diversity continues to grow, and that we see more journalists of different backgrounds, different upbringings, different ethnicities, who are great journalists, telling the stories. If we didn't exist, how would people know things?
Yeah.
It's so important what we do. It's so important, and I really encourage students who have a passion for journalism to just go do it.
Yeah.
Take that first job. It's going to be awful. The money won't be there, but go there, do the thing, and keep growing, and don't do it for the money. Yes. Because then if you just want to do it for the money, there's a lot of other careers you can do. But if you got to do this because you were born to do it, you need to do it. We need you. Welcome.
Thank you. And This conversation has been extremely insightful. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to
Oh,
me
you're
today.
welcome. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you.